Hi, I'm Simon with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we're going to show you how to repair your appliance. Are you ready? Remember, anytime you work on your appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we'll show you how to replace the drain pump assembly in the Samsung washer. It's going to be a very easy repair. Should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. For this job, we're going to need a Phillips and a flathead screwdrivers and a pair of pliers. When you open up the package, you're going to get a new drain pump assembly. Operated by the main control board, the drain pump pumps the water out of the washer when it's energized. A damaged drain pump could cause a partial drain, leaving some water inside the tub, or no draining at all, causing the washer not to spin. To get the top off, we need to unscrew those two screws. We're going to use the Phillips screwdriver and just take them out. To take the top off, slide it back about an inch, and then we can lift it off. And I start with removing this clamp from the hose. Just squeeze it and slide it up. It's not hard. Then we're going to remove the hose. Let's remove the dispenser drawer out. Press the tab and pull it out. Remove this hose from the dispenser housing. To take out the housing, we need to remove the two Phillips screws here, and then we can pull it out. Slide it out. And I'm going to flip it over and put it out of the way. To remove completely the control panel, we need to take a couple of more Phillips screws. Lift up on the control panel. Turn it towards yourself and disengage the bottom clips. We need to disconnect all the plugs to free the control panel. So we're going to start with the top. This is a relay. Press in the tab and lift it off. Then I'm going to free the wire from the clips here. Second one is right there. Then a third one. Support the control panel, and there's nothing else is holding it, no more. And the last plug. And now we can remove the control panel. Now we can open the door and then remove the boot spring clamp. We're gonna peel it up a little bit, then we're gonna use a flat blade screwdriver to pry it out. There's a spring at the bottom. And here's the clamp. Remove the boot seal from the lip. And tack it in. These two Phillips screws are holding the door lock, so I'll remove that screws to free the door lock from the front panel. And close the door, tuck the harness out of the way, and then we're going to remove the 4 Phillips screws that holds the front panel at the top. To open the door, we push down that little tab and it just gets open. So now we're going to need to take this off the hinges, pressing the hinge in, pressing the hinge in, door comes off. Remove the pump drain hose from the retainer. To avoid the mess, I suggest you to put a towel on the floor. Then we're going to use a container to collect the water from this drain hose. Pull out the cap and drain the water. Right now I think we can cap off this drain hose. And we don't need a towel anymore, we can take it off. And now we're going to take out the two Phillips screws that holds the front panel to the chassis. At this point, the front panel is held in place by these two tabs at the top and three hinges at the bottom. So we're going to open the door, lift up on the front panel to release the two tabs. Then we're going to close the door, tilt the panel towards you, and lift it off the bottom hinges. Let's put the towel here behind the pump. We drain the water out, but in case if there's still some water in there in the back. And then we're using the pliers. I'm gonna squeeze and move this clamp and disconnect the hose. Next thing would be the going back here, squeezing and sliding this clamp and removing this hose. And there's a little bit of water in there. And finally, reaching back, and we're going to squeeze that third clamp, the drain hose clamp, with the pliers. Slide it and pull the hose off the pump. It's probably going to have some water in there. Ooh, yes, it has some water. All right. There's two screws on the front, the two Phillips screws hold the pump. So I'm going to take them out. Push the pump back as far as it can go to disengage the mount at the bottom, and then we can theoretically we can easily lift the pump off. There you go. Take it out. And some water. Remove the cover and disconnect the wire plug from the motor. This is the old drain pump assembly next to the new one. If you don't have this part, you can get it from appliancepartspros.com. We'll start with plugging that power plug into the pump motor. Then we're going to install that safety cover. Press it on, and the two side clips we're going to lock in and slide this under that hook. Lift up on the top with one hand and put the pump in. And then we're going to put this mounting bracket in the cutout and then slide the pump forward to lock in. I'm going to pull this hose out of the way. Install the bracket in. Slide it forward. Now the drain hose, the drain hose goes out first. Okay, see, it's
locked. And then we can secure the pump with 2 Phillips screws here, match the holes. I will be starting with the drain hose, that gray hose. Slide it on to the drain port all the way. Then I'm gonna slide the clamp. And then using the pliers, I'm going to install the clamp. The second hose would be this tub to pump hose. Put it on, push it up forward. So you see that little cutout matching with the rib. And then we can slide the clamp. I use my fingers. You can use the pliers if you can't use the fingers. And then the number 3 hose goes on the top. And again, I can use my fingers to squeeze the clamp, slide it down, and secure the hose. Place the pump wire harness into the retainer. We're going to install the front panel. First, the drain hose tube has to go into the opening there. Then I'm going to place the bottom of the front panel on the hinges. And then push it in so the top tabs will lock. So we can install the 2 Phillips screws here to secure the front panel at the bottom. Put the drain hose in the holder. We install the pump filter door, 1 hinge at a time. Place it into the opening, push it in, and then we can close that door. Secure the front panel to the bracket with 4 Phillips screws. Open the door, reach inside and fish out the door lock assembly, and put it in. And then we're going to secure it with the 2 Phillips screws. Let's install the boot seal. I'm going to pull it out. We have to install this lip over that front panel lip. Don't rush. Take your time. Make a visual check that it's installed properly. Now we're going to install the boot spring clamp. We use the spring at approximately 6 o'clock. Put it in, then hold it. Jam the flathead screwdriver approximately 2 o'clock here, and then stretch the spring and place the spring clamp in with the flathead screwdriver. Make sure it's in the groove all around the seal. Then pull the seal. Pull hard. You don't want to have your laundry room flooded. All right. You can close the door now. Bring in and install the control panel. We're going to start with connecting all the wire plugs. We cannot possibly mix them around because they're all different. And continue plugging it in. Put it under the under the retainer. And the last one. Turn it over. Make sure that there's no hanging connectors around. Everything is attached. Then we're going to match the pins with the cutouts. Turn it forward. Press in the bottom. And then we're going to secure it with the Phillips screws. And now we can install the dispenser back. We're going to put this tab into the cutout and this tab into the upper cutout. And now we can put 2 Phillips screws in. Let's put the hose back into the dispenser housing. Push it into the clips here. And the dispenser door goes back in. We're going to place those 2 edges into the cutouts and push it in. Let's connect this hose to the tub. Push it on. Make sure it slides on all the way, sits perfect. Then the clamp goes on. Squeeze it. Well, you know what, I'm going to use both hands, but you pretty much understand what I'm doing. Push it down. Now we can put the top back on, install it approximately an inch away from the front panel. Then we're going to slide it forward and it locks in. Let's secure the top to the cabinet with 2 Phillips screws. Plug the washer in and make sure it runs good. Thank you for being a part of another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. For any of your future appliance repair projects, please check out our other videos available on our site, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram.